श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनउँ रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहुन मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। To begin each day with our namaskara, with our salutations, bowing down to Bhagwan, Guru, parents, has been the tradition that even Ramchandra ji demonstrates in his life. In Bhagwan's Dincharya, activities of the days, Goswami Tulsidas ji describes that Bhagwan would take the blessings of his Guru and his parents in the morning before he started his day. And how best could we start our days with doing namaskar to our Veer Hanuman. These beautiful shlokas in adoration, glorification and our surrender to Hanumanji. The next verse in this Namaskara, Anjananandanam Veeram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapishamakshahantaram Vante Lanka Bhayankaram Anjananandanam Veeram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapishamakshahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram. Vande, we bow down, we do namaskara. We salute, adore, who? Anjana Nandanam Veeram. Veer Hanuman, who is the joy of Anjana. There's an echo. Who is the joy of Anjana? Who is the destroyer, Nashanam, of Janaki Shoka. That is the sorrow of Mother Janaki. The joy of mother and the destroyer of mother's sorrow. Such a person only is actually called as a putra. In our scriptures, it is said putra or putri, both come from the same. The definition of a putra is that one who frees his or her parents from Pum Nama Narakaha. See, Naraka is also of many, many different levels. There are 5-star Narakas, there are 1-star Narakas. Yeah. Then, in Narakas, there is also minus, minus to the degree of 10. Like that, there are Narakas, and one Naraka is called as Pum. Yeah. Why it is called Pum, don't ask me. But one who frees his parents from Naraka. Now we understand Naraka as hell, but do you know how many children these days make the life of their parents a living hell? That parents don't even want to call them as children. Children consider these days their parents as creating hell for them. Who is a son or a daughter? One who ends the sorrows of their parents and who bring delight, joy and happiness in the life of the parents. For what do parents want children, isn't it? For their happiness. And when the children are happy, productive, living their life with nobility, cheerful, then parents are also very happy. But in this life, most people make their parents miserable while they are living only. So therefore, both the joy of Mother Anjana and the destroy of Mother Janaki's sorrow. For Hanumanji, both are mother only. Janaki Mata and Anjana Mata. So Janaki Shoka Nashanam, Kapisham, the leader of all the monkeys, Kapi Isha. So who is the lord of all monkeys? Now this word Kapi, we have to understand, we will explain that. Aksha Hantaram. Aksha was the son of Ravan and the destroyer of Aksha, and Lanka Bhayankaram, and one who created the fear in the hearts of all the people of Lanka. This is a very simple meaning of this verse. So, Vande Kapisham. I salute that Kapisha. And this word Kapi, Vanar, very commonly we translate as monkeys because they had tail. They had the form of a monkey. Now if you want to go a little bit into sciences, etc., Kapis were not monkeys. These Vanar, Vanar, means human beings or something else. Now even in Darwin's theory, which everybody has got blind faith in, there also it says that between the Homo sapiens, that is the human race, and the race of the apes and the monkeys, there seemed to be another race of intelligent humanoids. And why can't they be Vanarars? So that kind of people. Again, we have a very limited knowledge of this cosmos. We think that the whole world revolves around we human beings. But we are not even a fraction of the ants that exist upon this earth. Yeah? And how are we more important than any of those ants? Then in the pandemic we are thinking like, why does Bhagwan kill so many human beings? Every time you walk, how many ants are you killing? in this universe, there are different types of beings. And our rishis did not even speak about universe, they spoke about multiverses. Now when Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, in the movie show it, then the children say, yeah, that's really good. But when our grandmothers told us that when Yashoda Maya saw Krishna yawning and saw in the mouth of Krishna the entire universe, in that she sees the earth, in that she sees Vrindavan, in Vrindavan she sees, in Gokul she sees another Yashoda looking into the mouth of Krishna, and in that there is another universe. This is great scientific now, which our grandmothers told us in these simple stories. In these multi-universes, there are different types of beings and creatures. And on this earth itself, we know the extinction of the dinosaurs and so many creatures. And according to the needs of the times, different types of beings manifest upon this earth according to the vasanas, the karmas, and the total vasanas and karmas of the world. And when that is over, they go extinct. And don't be surprised, one day humans will also be extinct. And there could be another race of more intelligent and sensible people. Yeah? According to the Ramayana, that it was the Devatas only who took the form, and therefore, like monkeys, because when Bhagwan promised to Bhudevi in the form of cow, and all the Devatas who came to plead against the atrocities that were going on by these asuras, these Rakshasas. And the translation of Rakshas also, Gurudev used to explain beautifully. He says, just turn the word around. Rakshasa. And if you turn it around, Sakshara. Sa-akshara means one who is along with Akshara. Aksharabhyas means with alphabets, with education, with knowledge. Rakshasa is opposite of that, which means educated but behaving like unintelligent people. We say we are very intelligent. What is Viveka? Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Viveka. Acha, if you know that everything is anitya and you still want to be attached to it, then is that called as Viveka? So knowledgeable and yet not able to live their knowledge and lives an uncultured life of selfishness, aggrandization, plundering. We know that the earth is getting depleted, but we still go on taking it. Those asuras are sitting all around us. And you might be one of them. Yeah. One might be in front of you also. Yeah. Yeah. So there was this race of Rakshasas, they still exist even today. However, the word Kapi very beautifully has been explained, made up of two letters, Ka and Pi. Pi, we all understand, Pibati. P means to drink. Pi क्या है ना? चाय पी के आए हो कि नहीं? मेरी हिंदी तो अच्छी है. अच्छी नहीं है, but अच्छी है. P means to drink. Drink what? Ka. Now, Ka, these days everybody is into, they say, which company is working? TCPR. Who does know what is TCPR? Yeah. I've applied to FCRA. What is FCRA? We are so used to abbreviations these days. Also, the name, especially when you go to America, Venkatramana becomes Venki. Venki becomes VK. So this must be some short form of something, So what does Hanumanji drink? America, they love that, huh? I remember when I was there long ago, there's this American lady who had seen all this flash of oranges. And she was trying to figure out all these big Sanskrit names. And she said that, that tall one with the silver beard is Swami C. Because Americans like Swami's name also is too much for them to pronounce. So it's not bad manners though, but Swami C. That cute, chubby one is... Okay, okay? And there was this frisking one, running around, that Swami D. Yeah. Don't ask what she said about me. Yeah. And that's Swami S. But by the way, who is Swami G? Who is Swami G? So such short forms, So this must be So what does Hanumanji drink? This must be short form of Coca-Cola became Coke. And in India they were far advanced. So Coke means Ka. So Ka iti Coke iti Coca-Cola pibati iti kapi. Please don't give this to Coca-Cola company, I tell you. But the word ka in Sanskrit, kam sukham, kam brahma sukham, pibati iti kapi. One who is reveling in the bliss of the supreme infinite reality, Brahma, means one who is reveling in Brahmananda, such a person is called as kapi, not just a monkey. Therefore, realized masters, saints and sages, and they are also like kapis. They can't stay in one place. They have to hop from one place to another place because the work is so much, Yeah. So, kam sukham pibati iti kapi. And he is Kapisha, the Lord of the kapis. So, means best amongst the realized master. In Vishnu Sahasranama also, one of the name of Lord Vishnu is Ka, Kim, So Ka means one who is reveling or is drunk with the devotion to Lord Rama, Vishnu. Such a person is called as Kapi. And amongst all the realized masters, Jnaninam Agraganyam. Amongst all the Jnanis, Hanumanji's name is foremost. Amongst Bhaktas also, his name is foremost. That's why he is called as Kapi. And even as a Vanar, it was Sugriv and Vali who were the kings of Kishkinda. Hanumanji was not a king, but they sat on the throne of Kishkinda. But who ruled the hearts of the monkeys? It was Hanumanji. And such a person is indeed a true leader. Therefore, Kapisham. And who is this Kapi? This best or the leader of all the monkeys. The one who brings joy to Anjana. So Anjana Nandanam. So son of Anjana, the joy of Anjana. Hanumanji's birth is also very, very unique. In the Ramayana, both Valmiki Ramayana as well as Shri Ramcharitmanas, in both of them, Hanumanji appears in Kishkinda when Sugriv tells Hanumanji to go and find out who are these two unique people coming, whose gait, presence, bow and arrow in hand, they look like princes, but are wearing matted, a crown of matted hair, looking like ascetics. Please go and find them. Find out who they are. And this is where Hanumanji enters the scene. Not much about his past is said, but from the different Puranas or different literature, there are many stories of Hanumanji's birth. And about Anjana, there is mention even in the Jain literature. Anjana, in a previous incarnation, was an Apsara. Punchik Sthala, her name was. And it was sage Brihaspati, the guru of the Devatas, who had adopted her and raised her in the ashram with all virtues. And living in the ashram, she grew up to be a very beautiful, she was an Apsara anyway. She turned out to be a beautiful maiden, and she used to remain in the ashram only. And serving her guru, father like guru, she would collect flowers and bring every day for his puja. And rarely did she wander out of the atmosphere of the ashram. One day, collecting flowers as she drifted out from the ashram, she came across a lake, a pond, and there some Gandharvas, another type of celestial beings, very, very handsome, beautiful, they were having bath there. And when they saw this Apsara staring at them, they tried to show off also. And she had never seen such bodies. So she remained there transfixed, watching their play, etc. And she had never seen all this. She's never had these kind of feelings. So she just sat there. It became evening, and Guru Brihaspati came searching for her. And he found her sitting there, watching these Gandharvas in their play in the water. Seeing her like in this condition, he immediately told her, like any young father seeing his young girl attracted like this, he says, "Beta, this is not for you. You live in an ashram, come back now." And for the first time, like a typical teenager, she says, "What's wrong?" He realized that in her there are still these very, very strong desires, and therefore she stayed there whole day watching these beings. And of course, they being all artists and musicians, etc., in all their romantic play, she was just transfixed there. So he said to her that to fulfill these desires unbridled, you be born in the Vanar race as a monkey. You be born there. Suddenly she woke up and she said, "Please, please free me from this curse." He said, "Beta, how can I ever curse you? Saints and sages don't curse. It will come only with blessings. Go, fulfill your desires soon. Why not human form? That takes 100 years. And that too also with all its restraints. Go, fulfill it, your desires, and out of you will be born a very, very great son. and after that, son, you come back. Our life is for liberation, not for all this, but go. And according to karma and vasanas, people get different births. Nothing is a curse, nothing is a low form of birth. No, he sends her off. And she was born as a child of another monkey chieftain, Punjara. And there also she had memory of her past life and naturally regretful of what had happened. That sometimes just for a moment, how we get carried away with just an apparent thrill of some pleasure. She finally drifted away from the group, the family of monkeys, and went deep into the forest. And when she was about to eat the fruits, she could hear a blessing that, listen, you are not an ordinary monkey. Go have your bath, do your prayers to Lord Shiva, and then eat the fruits. And from that time she started doing tapasya of Lord Shiva, and after that she would go and eat the fruits. And one day while she was about to eat the fruits, there was suddenly a roar. All the animals were running far and wide. And suddenly there appears to be this demonic creature, a Rakshasa, whose name was Shama Sadhana. And he puts your sadhana to an end. Maybe that's the meaning, And he just came there and stood in front of her and said, what a young, pretty, monkey like you. What are you doing here just in this forest? He tried to grab hold of her. She freed herself and she escaped. And being in the form of a monkey, she could jump from tree to tree, and he, breaking down trees, chased her. She finally came to an ashram of sadhus, some ascetics. She asked for help and they told her, you stay here. But when they heard the name of the Rakshasa who was trying to chase her, he said, he has created havoc. And it seems all these Rakshasas, even today, they cannot bear spiritual practices. So whenever they do yajnas, these Rakshasas would come and destroy, because they don't like dharma karya. It makes you strong, it makes your mind strong, and you will not succumb to any of these Rakshasas and these Rakshasic tendencies within you. And therefore they are ready to just destroy them. When she asked them for help, they said that there is only one person, we can't do anything. But if he comes here, then there will be havoc. There is only one person, an ape here, who is Kesari, who has killed an elephant. And the elephant has no match of his size in the forest, and only a rare lion can kill an elephant. And this Vaner's name is Kesari. Somehow or the other, if Kesari comes here, there is some hope. So she prayed to Lord Shiva, and there appeared this magnificent Vanar, Kesari, and he told the rishis, do not worry, and told Anjana, don't you worry, I am here. It's typical Hindi movie story. Don't be afraid, ye gunde ko main dekh lunga. कोई तुम्हें हाथ भी नहीं लगा सकता है, कोई छू के तो दिखाए. So there comes the hero, and he stands there in guard of the rishis and this beautiful damsel in distress. And this Rakshasa comes there and he starts laughing. He said, you all can protect her, and he tries to grab her and say, come with me, I'll give you all the pleasures of the world. What are these ascetics going to do? Protect you. They are not capable of anything like that, he went on saying. And Kesari roared from there, and they got into a mighty fight. And that fight went on for quite some time. And these Rakshasas had powers by which they could change their form. No? And obviously Kesari was not some monkey, because he was shooting arrows at this Rakshasa. And so swift were his arrows that the Rakshasa himself got quite perturbed and then took a form of an elephant and came charging towards Kesari. Kesari said, well, that is my expertise. If you come in this form, I've already had, it's my expertise, And as he came charging, big elephant, when it comes charging, if you stand there big, he immediately took Kesari took a small form and jumped onto the head of the elephant. And the most delicate part of the elephant, which is high above, is his skull. And that's why the mouth guides him. And there he started smashing the skull of the elephant. In sheer despair, he again turned out into his form. And again the fighting went up. And generally you find also Navratri is going on. If you remember the story of Mahishasur. Then he took a form of a buffalo and came charging. There also Kesari shot both the eyes of the buffalo, from Rajas to Tamas. This is how these Rakshasas work, and shot the eyes of the buffalo. And to get out from that form, again he took his normal form. But the fight was going on so strong that Kesari was becoming tired. Anjana was seeing Kesari fighting, and as though the battle is now going to shift, and she started praying to Lord Shiva, please, please, please protect him, please protect him, please protect him. And she has been an upasaka of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva spoke to her and said, he can be killed only with his own blood. And she says, how can that happen? He said, I've given you the answer, now you find a solution. Yeah? We want everything. Acha, what should I do? When you say, what should you do? Then the thing is, acha, but how can I do that? Then you find out how you can do it. And she thought about it, and then she found one of the arrows that was lying there. And since that Rakshasa was bleeding, she saw these drops of blood there. She soaked the arrow in his blood, and she called out to Kesari and handed over the arrow and said, shoot him with this arrow. And when he shot that Rakshasa with that arrow, that Rakshasa fell dead. Kesari brought Anjana back to the rishis. And these ascetics told Anjana that, daughter, will you listen to us if we ask you for something? She says, whatever you all say. They said, we would like you to get married to this Kesari. She shyly said yes. and they got married. And for many years, they sported in the forest, and Kesari, looking for the best of fruits and feeding her with the best of fruits. One day Anjana felt that I am not being able to give him a child. So again she prayed, and she was praying to Lord Shiva because she wanted a child just like Lord Shiva with blessings. And it is said, it is at that time Pavan Devata, who was carrying the Teja of Lord Shiva, spotted Anjana and placed that Teja. In our language they will say semen and all that, but that Teja of Lord Shiva in Anjana, and from that Hanumanji was conceived. So such immaculate births have been very often there. It is not once in the Middle East. That's why those, whether it was Kunti, whether it was Anjana. So since Pavan Devta was instrumental, he is considered to be the father of Hanumanji also. Kesari was Anjana's husband. He is also called as father of Hanumanji. Anjani Sutta, Pavana Sutta, Kesari, Nandan. These are the names of Hanumanji. And how did this Teja of Lord Shiva also come? In different Puranas, slightly different stories are there, but it is very clear it is the Teja of Shivji. One of the stories which are very popular is that when Bhagwan took Mohini avatar, and again, different universes, different kalpas, we don't have to doubt these stories. And even the order of these stories sometimes portray something different. But that's a very popular story, that when he heard about Mohini avatar and Shivji, whenever Bhagwan takes any form, when the formless takes a form and comes, he wants to go and see that form. And every form, whether it's baby Ram, whether it's baby Krishna, Shivji, so he tells Parvati, even I have to, this therefore Indians can't keep a line, you know that, no? You must have seen also, no? The dining hall. Yeah. People can't, India, that tradition Shivji only started. To see Ramchandraji or to see Bhagwan Krishna, Shivji breaks lines, he pretends to be an astrologer, and somehow the other he just goes inside and tries to break the line to see. So when Mohini avatar took place, he had come, taken the poison, and he had left. He did his work, took the poison and went. And when all the riches came out, everybody went and grabbed that. And when finally Mohini avatar Bhagwan took, when the Asuras were cheating and taking away the Amrita Kalasha, Bhagwan Shivji heard about Mohini avatar, and to see Bhagwan as Mohini, he went up to Bhagwan and he said, I have not seen that form. Bhagwan said, this is not meant for devotees. Yeah. Mohini avatar is for Mohanam, to delude. It is not meant for devotees. But he said, no, I want to see it, I want to see it. And whatever devotee asks, Bhagwan will do. So Bhagwan took the form of Mohini, and that one who has killed Kamdev, conquered Kamdev, that Shivji runs after Mohini. And it is said that that time, that Tej that emanated from him, that was taken by Pavan Devta very securely and given to Anjana. Therefore, he is called also as Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan. But Shankara Suvan also means Shankara Suvana. He is not the son of Shankar. Then why? Because he is Shankara himself. And Hanumanji is considered to be the 11th Rudra avatar. And that is how, because it was during that time of love with Lord Vishnu that this Teja, and that's why such a precious Teja, was taken by Pavan Devta, and Anjana Mata was blessed with such a devotee of the Lord, whom Bhagwan himself praises, and that is Anjaneya. And even as a little kid, and therefore, what do we gain from our parents? Some of you can go onto the Chinmaya channel and listen to the talks of parenting. And some of you might be grandparents, some to be parents. Yeah? Whether with our genes or our upbringing and karmas, we get certain things from our parents. Most people take up only the bad things in the family, including bad diet, bad behavior, etc. Therefore, how important it is for parents to be good role models that the children can pick up goodness from them, which will help them all their life. At the same time also, what should we take out of the parents? See, from Shivji, Hanumanji got devotion and compassion. From Kesari, valor as well as loyalty. Loyalty is very much lacking today. What honesty if there is no loyalty? Switch what? Switch jobs, switch partners in life, switch husband's wife? No. Switch gurus also, what is the big deal? Dime by the dozen. Or dozen by the dime, whatever. Loyalty. Just now I'm just coming from our strategic meeting from our university, and there we had some top level business people, industrialists who had come there, and we were asking that what as industries you expect from students of the university whom you would like to give placement in your. Unanimously everybody said we need people with loyalty, ethics from the universities. Yeah. So from Kesari, we got that loyalty and that, and from Pavan Devata, not only the strength of the wind, but also service with humility that we mentioned yesterday. And Anjana, the very word Anjan, Anjan we have heard that, no? Guru Kripa Anjana. Yeah? Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Anjan means that kajal, surma, that black that we put in the eyes. And I used to always wonder why they put all this black in the eyes. And all the girls now, what they use? Mascara, okay. Why do you put black around your eyes? So that the shine of the eyes will look beautiful. So Anjana means one who brings forth a glorious one. One who brings glory to others is called as Anjana. And look at Hanumanji, wherever he went, he only brought glory to them, whether it was Vibhishan in Lanka, wherever he went. These are the qualities, therefore. Anjananandan, the joy of Anjana. And what is a mother's joy? To see a child grow with such love and nobility that she has sacrificed her life for. So joy of Anjana. Janaki Shoka Nashanam. Veeram. That even as a child, he aspired to reach for the sun, and there fought with Rahu and Airavat. He takes and plays, that is Indra's elephant. And finally, when Indra shot his thunderbolt, all it could do was give him a cleft chin. And that's why he was called as Hanuman. One meaning is, जिसके हनु पर मार लगी हुई है और who's got a prominent marked chin. Also meaning one whose ego has been cut asunder or destroyed. Such a humble person is called as Hanuman, and therefore by saying Veer, his name Hanuman is mentioned here. That even as a child, he dared to reach out to the sun and fought all negative as well as cosmic forces. And in spite of the thunderbolt hit on him, he remained alive, and all it could do was break his chin. And if life calamities come to us, it is only to break our ego. And if we break our ego, then only we can become great. No? So, Veera. Janaki Shoka Nashanam. He is the one who is the destroyer of Janaki's Shoka. Ever since Mother Sita saw that deer and that golden deer, she desired living 13 years in bliss with Ramchandraji. And what would a wife want? 13 years of honeymoon. Because nowadays every woman, because hardly you get, for wedding you get 3 days holiday, and every young woman who gets married these days say that their husband has got no time for them. That's the only complaint. I said, your husband bad, he's having this thing. No, Swamiji, he has no time for me, And finally, after retiring, when they have all the time, they don't want his time. For Sita ji, it was bliss every moment. That 13 years Ramchandra ji was only for her. She's lived in bliss. Now that she is going back, what is wrong for a woman to go for a little souvenir shopping? She saw the golden deer and said, oh my dear, get me that deer. Ramchandra says, oh my dear, why you want a deer when I am near? But a typical wife at that time, what is the deer of being a deer if you can't get me one deer? Dhyato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhi jayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshad buddhi nashaha buddhi nashat pranashyati. Sita ji is demonstrating, not that she fell for a deer, that even a person like Sita, what does she desire? From the forest, just a deer? But see what one brooding over sense objects creates an attachment which becomes a strong desire. That strong desire intensifies into kamana or lust, and then you just have to have it, and if you don't get it, there is frustration and anger. Sent off Lakshman, accusing him with the worst of languages, sent him off in the forest, and finally came under the clutches of Moha, the delusory Ravan. And those of you who study the commentary of the Bhagavad Gita, where there is Moha, there will be Shoka. She crosses that boundary of brahmacharya, of moderation, of dharma. After that, she is taken away from this land of knowledge, light, culture, to the land of just pleasures and wealth. Lanka. And having gone to Lanka, what Sita ji is what every sadhak has to do. Ye tu sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehi yasya indriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. There all the pleasure, there though she desired just one deer, here was all handbags made up of deer and leopard skin, branded goods. But she did not even look towards the pleasure. Sitting in Ashok Vatika, she just sat there, her eyes fixed to her feet. Because whatever signs that are there on the right feet of Ramchandra ji is there on the left feet of Mother Sita. Her eyes fixed to her feet, and Jehi Vedi Kapata Kuranga Sang, that last vision, that to fulfill her desire, Ramchandra ji went running after the deer with that last vision of her beloved in her heart. Ratati Rahi Hari Ram. She only kept on Ram, 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 Ram. Just remembering him. At that time, when a sadhak does that, when she is constantly remembering Ram, what is the sign that Ramchandra ji is coming to us? Sita ji is suffering there. Ramchandra ji has sent Hanuman ji, he's crossed the ocean, and he has come all the way to Lanka, finding Sita ji not finding her in the palaces of Lanka, knowing that she will not be there. He finally finds Vibhishan, comes to Ashok Vatika, and even there, before he can go and meet her and expose himself, he waits patiently. Ravan comes early in the morning, all decked up in his jewels and crowned, with his whole retinue of his wives, and comes and pressures Sita to get married to him. Not that he's a decent guy. And says, why do you even want to think about that tapasi? What can he give you, that forest dweller? And Sita ji just picks up a blade of grass, and she calls him, tells him that does a lotus ever bloom for a glowworm? She only blooms for the sun. Called a glowworm, he gets so angry, he takes out his sword to kill her, and she says, "Oh sword, it's better I die than to hear insult of this fellow." It is Mandodari who pulls Ravan away, and he tells all the Rakshasis that trouble her in such a way that within 1 month she gets married to me, or I will kill her. Trijata comes there, drives away these Rakshasas. Sita ji is weeping away, telling Trijata. Trijata says, "I have seen a dream that a monkey has come here, messenger from your husband, and I've seen him burn Lanka." Hanumanji said, "Oh, These Rakshasis are quite clairvoyant. But Sita ji is weeping away that remaining in separation from Ramchandra ji. Yeah. I'd rather die. Get me some fire. When Trijata sings, when somebody is so sad, it's best to leave them alone. She says, there's no fire. Hanumanji says, no fire in Lanka? Okay, I'll give it. And meanwhile, while Sita ji is crying and looking into the sky, that you've got so many meteorites falling, can you not drop one meteorite on me? Oh Ashoka tree, you have flowers of flames, can you just not give me one flame, so that this body which is already burning in the fire of separation from my beloved, चाहत सिया अशोक सु आगी सु दई प्रभु मुद्रिका शोक निवारो को नहीं जानत है जग में कभी संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो. Giving the ring of Ramchandra ji, which has the name of Ramchandra ji, that takes us to Ramchandra ji, or rather brings Ram to us. He removed Janaki Shoka Nash. Until then, that Hanuman, who had not eaten anything, even stopped by the mountain in the ocean, after having given the message to Mother Sita, he says, Mother, I am very hungry. And she says, there are plenty of fruits, but don't eat fruits which are unripe, which have fallen down. So he jumps from tree to tree, and all the mangoes that fell down on the Rakshasa's head, with such power it fell on them that they all panicked and they started throwing at him arrows and stones. And Hanumanji, just taking the seeds of the mangoes, when he hits like a ninja, all these Rakshasas were killed. When they went to Ravan, that Ashok Vatika, his favorite forest, is being destroyed by one monkey, Ravan sent another set of army. All of them, like mosquitoes, he squashed them, all these Rakshasas. Single-handedly, eating a fruit, throwing. And when it comes from his hand, all those Rakshasas falling. Finally, Ravan said, who is this monkey and so many armies dead? So send his son, Akshay Kumar. The Ravana's son, Akshay. So Akshay Kumar, therefore Aksha Hantaram. And Aksha went, he is the son of Ravan, warrior, leader. He went there. Hanumanji saw him. Aksha has come. Bada, martial art expert. Aksha comes there. Ravan Sutta Aksha comes there. And Hanumanji to gives him one whack. Your father should have given you one. And Aksha falls dead only. And with Aksha falling there, oh, Lanka Bhayankaram. Oh, the terror that spread all over Lanka by this one monkey who had come and was just eating fruits. And if you see monkeys coming, don't try to feed them. Let them eat whatever is naturally available from them. Don't take away that from them. Otherwise, when they come there, you also will run from there. So, Lanka Bhayankaram, and one who caused fear in the hearts of all the people of Lanka. And with his fear, what did he do? Just like Narad Muni instilled fear in the heart of Kamsa, he made them all remember the might and the glory of Shri Ram. Pavanatanaya Sankata Harana Mangalamurati Rupa Ram Lakhan Sita Sahita हृदय बसौ सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Today we will meet again at 5 o'clock. Be settled in the room 5 minutes to 5. After that, once I enter, nobody will be allowed, and if you happen to be outside, don't make any noise whatsoever. Okay? So we'll meet here, and those of you want to meet for informal satsang at night after dinner, I will see you in the satsang hall. Hari Om.